everyone. I don't know whether I will consider time as an enemy or a friend now that we are already in the last quarter of this school year. Yes, welcome to the first set of your fourth quarter. But before that, I would like to congratulate you and your learning partner for successfully overcoming the challenges of the previous quarters. Yes, the lessons might be getting harder and harder, but with your perseverance and determination, I know that you will be able to handle this quarter well. Let us now continue learning English with a smile.
I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully.
Before we begin reading the first story of this quarter, open your Smart Voices book first on page 48 and let us practice speaking the sounds of the consonants P and F. You have the consonant sounds P and F. Let's begin.
Grade 6, Lesson 7. The consonant sounds P and F. Sample words. Listen to and repeat after your teacher. P. Panda. Maple. Pray. Penny. Park. Parade. Stapler. Captain. Optic. Pipe. Sofa. Graph. Staff. Safe. After. Gulf. Cuff. Half. Fraction. Photo. Phrases. Listen to and repeat after your teacher.
Peter Piper. Power nap. Wrap the gift. Laugh hard. Paper cup. Fit to form. Fast food. Find the flag. Half of the graph. Captain's pitch. Fervently pray. Paris, France. Plain and simple. Faded photographs. 55 pesos. Pay a fraction.
Sentences. Listen to and repeat after your teacher. Pierre is a nice French boy who lives in the beautiful city of Paris in France. Penny is afraid to catch a cold, so she always carries a pink handkerchief in her purse. Please chop the apples before serving them. My grandfather approves of taking a nap after lunch. Frozen fruits make an interesting snack, especially during the hot summer months. My professor framed the old Philippine flag as a sign of respect. The former chief decided to deploy more troops to the fields. Please don't put the powder inside the frozen cup. The picnic is not fun without our family and friends. Is she a soprano in the school choir?
Now, you might be wondering why my background is the beach. Well, today, we will be reading a story about a sea creature called goldfish. Have you ever seen a goldfish? Do you wonder why it has a golden coat? Today, in the story that we are going to read, we will find out how the goldfish got its golden coat. But before that, let us first have your vocabulary activity. Open your book on page 128 and start answering your vocabulary activity. Are you ready to check your answers? Let us now check your answers.
Please pause if you are not yet done.
Okay, so now we are ready to read your story. Open your book on page 130. The story The Goldfish is an example of a myth. A myth is a story that involves gods and goddesses and sometimes tell you the origin of something. It is different from a legend because for legends it's all about the heroic deeds of someone. Okay, let us now learn how did a goldfish get its golden coat. The Goldfish by George Roberts. Freddie had gone with Mother to visit Aunt Delia. He was having a very happy time. He had been driving behind the fat white pony and he had played with the little black dog Beauty until he was quite tired. So he snuggled down among the gray silk cushions on the window seat and lay sleepily, watching the goldfish above him. For, of all the lovely things in Aunt Delia's home, the goldfish, swimming forever around and around in the big glass globe, were the most wonderful to Freddie. Although he was such a little boy, he had gone fishing with Father a number of times. He had never seen a fish like this. As he lay watching, he wondered if they were real, alive, slippery fish like those Father caught. Were they made of gold and wound up like his toy engine? The more he watched them spinning around, the more curious he became. At last, he stood up on the window seat and put one little fat hand on the globe to steady it. Dipping the other in the water, he tried to catch one of the fish. Oh yes, they were certainly alive. They darted hither and thither, growing more and more frightened as Freddie splashed the water around them. Suddenly, he was very much surprised to hear a queer gasping voice say, "Oh, little boy, why do you frighten us so?" Freddie's hand came slowly out of the water. "Because I want to know if you are gold or slippery," he said. "Both," answered the fish. "Why?" asked Freddie. "Shall I tell you?" said the little fish. "Yes," answered Freddie. So the goldfish began its story. Once a long time ago, a star fell down on earth from the blue sky and splashed into a lake of clear water. The fish in the lake heard a wonderful sweet voice calling them, so they all came up to the surface. They saw a tall white angel who seemed to be clothed in fleecy clouds. His face was sad and he said, "Little fish, I have lost one of my bright stars from heaven. Can you find it for me?" Then the little fish, and there were many kinds of them in the lake, began to swim hither and thither, looking for the lost star. But by and by, they came up to the top of the water and said to the angel, "We cannot find your star. It is lost." "It cannot be lost," said the angel. "It must be found, for not one star can be spared from the sky. Will you not look again for it?" But the little fish were tired and swam away, all but one, the smallest of them all. "I will look again, oh beautiful angel," he said. And after a long time, he came back, and in his mouth was the lost star. As the angel stooped to take it, his face was bright as the sun, and he said lovingly to the little fish, "For this you will always wear a golden coat. Be good and happy, and I will protect you." And ever since, my brothers and I have worn these gold coats, and we try to be good and happy. Just then, Mother came into the room. "Freddie," she cried, "are you frightening Aunt Delia's goldfish?" "No, Mother," answered the child, "and I never will, for I know now how they got their gold coats." And that's the end of the story. I hope you like it. The story The Goldfish is an example of a story within a story. You see, you have the present, and then here came the fantasy part. We have the realistic part, and we have the fantasy part wherein the goldfish started sharing its story.